It's so frustrating. Someone called and it clicked me off. Well, anyways, I came into the Land Rover because it's pretty cold outside. Okay, by not saying anything, it made, I don't know. I really, you know what, I can only assume what it meant to people. Because I would, at the time, I thought they believed him and they, like, you know, kind of like sided with him over me. And then, you know, I get my feelings hurt. And so I just realized they're all crazy. No, just, I just didn't want anything toxic like that in my life anymore. So no one reached out to me. I didn't reach out to them. And I just assumed at the time that they believed him. And now, you know, I'm thinking more clearer. I realize that it was just their way of staying out of it, because he was insane. He was crazy. He would, if anyone ever disagreed with him or questioned him or challenged him, he would go after them like with the vengeance. There was no standing up to him. There's no dealing with him when he's in that crazy state of just madness. And, you know, nobody wants to get involved with that, because then he would go after them. I mean, he literally, there's this one boy, my son's friend, who, you know, is very close with our family. He went after and was attacking him and threatening him and driving to this house and barging in where he and his parents lived, and threatening him and just all of this stuff because he questioned him about something the day before I had that man kicked out. But anyways, the reason why I'm saying all this is weird shit is happening, and it's hard for me to it's so fucking hard for me to deal with it. I'm alone now. I'm always alone by myself, and I still have that feeling like nobody's gonna believe me or take me serious. It's worse. And I'm gonna be like, I've always been silenced. For 22 years, I was told I was crazy, that, you know, I'm not a good mom, I'm this and that, all this stuff he would tell me. And the crazy part was a damning thing to say to somebody, because after time I believed it. I really, I felt crazy. And even till this day, I question, is that normal? You know, I always have that back of my mind. Not as much, because I've been away from that craziness for a couple of years now, for a few years. I'd say a couple. Because little things would happen, and it puts me in that feeling, am I crazy, am I paranoid? Because it would be something he would do, but I have no proof of it, and it makes no sense for him to do it. Like, if I don't hear from him for a year, you know, you know, if I don't hear from him a year, then why would he suddenly do this again? But he is a man who has hate in his heart, and that kind of hate doesn't leave. Like even like he makes a big deal still to this day. So I have no involvement with him whatsoever. I don't think about him. I don't even care about him. You know, I wish him the best. Just move on, be happy, and just, you know, I want to just get my name and my face and everything. Get me out of your mind is what I want. I just want that peace and just to be left alone. He took everything from me. My kids, my home, my stability. He's part of the reason why my parents turned on me. Well, my dad too. My dad's a sicko, pervert, pedophile, predator, creep. But I love him. I love my dad. But I don't fuck with my dad or my mom. They betrayed me in the worst ways. But today an incident happened, well, last night. Something happened that has me scared. I took my daughter out late night to Jack in the Box. I don't look at time, so I don't know. Maybe around midnight. Then after I dropped her off, I went to the desert to take my dog out for a run. He didn't run yesterday. I had parked by a road, and I went out just to play ball with him real quick and give him his water. It was, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning, sometime like that. Then there's a couple fighting right by where I was parked. And I watched them for a second, and then all of a sudden police cars show up, and I'm in the desert, parked in the dark. I'm like, this looks really, it looks really weird and unusual. I did, so, and I didn't want to get involved with the couple, and I didn't want them to think that I had anything, I just didn't want to get involved with the drama. So I just waited out in the desert, in the dark, parked, until the last police left, which is, I'm guessing, like around 3 a.m. And when I came home, there was 2 bowls in my driveway that had water and dog food in them, full. They were not there when I left with my daughter earlier, because I had a hard time backing out. So, I'm go forward, back. I would have seen them. She would have too, and they were blocking the way where my car would park. There's 2 bowls full of dog food in that. And then there's a canopy parked outside of the car, because I stay in the Land Rover. But the canopy was set up there. The lights were on. I'm like, what the heck? Then the lights shut off when so I noticed the canopy lights before I noticed the dog. No, I just dog food first, because I drove around and parked on the other side. So, but at the time with the lights, I was freaked out. And I called my daughter, or I messaged my daughter, and had her husband come out and check to make sure the area was clear. And he did, and it was. But I don't talk to anyone. I don't have any friends. Nobody knows I'm here. Nobody knows me to know me. I talk to no one. The only one that knows I'm out here would be my kids, but I don't even talk to them really, and they don't really talk to me. And so there's nobody would know about me or my dog. And it had me creeped out all night. I stayed in the Land Rover, but I left my phone by accident in the car because I ran out here. My room's still a mess, so it's not an option to really stay in there. It's taken apart. I'm gonna have to start cleaning it out though. I stayed out here last night in the car because I have my dog, and he would notice something or someone, but it has me thinking it's my ex. And he's done this. He's just last year, or maybe 2 years ago, but I had my red convertible. The lug nuts were taken off my tire, so my car was running funny, and I had it looked out, and they said all those bolts were screwed off, where the tire could have fell off if I was on a freeway. It would have been a bad accident. That happened, and on Christmas Day, this past Christmas, 2024, my tires were slashed. So all my kids were all together at my daughter's house, and I was trapped here. I didn't have my phone service. I didn't have any Wi-Fi. I didn't have nothing Wi-Fi, and my car was all 2 tires were slashed, like stabbed to death. And right away, it's, I think, the ex-husband, because he has terrorized me this kind of way and worse in the past. But even though I haven't spoke to him or had any contact with him, I don't have nothing to do with him. But it makes me feel crazy, because nobody cares. Nobody will care. Nobody will question it. And they'll just act like I'm just like, oh, it's just mom and her whatever. But it's not a whatever. It's a serious thing. It's really scary. Nobody, my kids, my ex-husband, he down talks me. My kids grew up with him degrading me and me taking it because I accepted it. I didn't know abuse was abuse. I didn't know how unnatural and how crazy my life was. And I never complained. And even when he's always complaining, he's always the one making trouble in court, anywhere, with with police, with my kids, just anywhere. He'd always be the one over talking me. And so I was always grouped up with him, like, oh, the difficult people, the difficult case, the difficult. And I'm like, it's not me, it's him. But somehow I always get dragged down with him. So by the time it comes to me, everyone's already over the top sick with what he's coming at them with, to where they shut me out. They don't want to hear a word from me. Not even after my son died. You know, at that time I was real emotionally invested. I wanted to, I'm like, that's not right. And I wanted to set the story straight and say what really happened. But nobody, especially my kids, nobody wanted to hear anything from me. Nobody. They just wanted me to be quiet and just gone and just, I don't know. They just wanted it to be erased. They didn't want to have to deal with any of it. So I've always been dragged into his madness. And that's the main reason why I stayed away.